Welcome back to my channel. I am Elise, founder of Letters for Life, and today I'm going to be talking about how to forgive those who have hurt you. It's a touchy topic. A lot of people really ain't talking about forgiveness, but I'm here to put you on about how I was able to let go of all that pain and hurt and everything that happened from people. So forgiveness is something that I really struggle with for a very long time, just forgiving people who hurt me. The number one person who was hard for me to forgive was my father. He was in my life. Like, he wasn't a horrible father, but it was just a lot of pain and a lot of hurt, just a whole bunch of daddy issues that I experienced. And so that was the hardest person for me to forgive, was my father. First thing I had to realize about forgiveness is that hurt people hurt people. And I know a lot of times it's a cliche, people really don't think about it, but a lot of the times the person that you are struggling with to forgive, they are hurt themselves. And sometimes we kind of just think of what you did to me, and you did this to me, and you wasn't there for me, and da-da-da-da-da-da. But they're hurting themselves. My father was the best father that he could be from with the knowledge that he was given. So it wasn't like he was like, okay, I have a daughter and I'm just going to purposely hurt her. I want to hurt her. No, it was never that case. I don't think that was the case at all. But with his knowledge that he was given and life happening, as well as life happens to all of us, in the process, my feelings were hurt. I did feel neglected. I did feel, like my father wasn't the best father that he could have been or that he should have been. When you kind of take the lens off of your hurt and your iniquity, and you open your eyes to, wow, let me put myself in this person's position. Let me put myself into how they feeling, how they grew up, or what my grandfather taught him, or generational curses. Let me take the hurt off of me and let me see how this person is feeling or what they had to go through. It shows you different perspectives. It allows you to see, like, they may have hurt me, but at the end of the day, they were hurting themselves also. They have been hurt by life as well. And so you really have to look at the person who has hurt you, the situation, and say, you know what? They're hurting themselves. And a lot of times when people are hurting themselves, they try to throw that or sprue that on you. And they're just expressing their frustration within themselves. You really have to change your perspective. And not that you neglect the hurt, because this is your true feelings and this is how you feel. Just shift it to put yourself in that person's position. Show that person grace, just like you've been shown grace. And I'm telling you, it will definitely change your perspective on the hurt and on the forgiveness that needs to take place. Number two, this was the biggest thing for me, and it is the hardest thing for people really to accept. But when you are hurt by somebody and they have really hurt your feelings, 9 times out of 10, that person is not thinking about you. Like, I know it sucks. It's so bad, right? Like, we want that person to know, like, you hurt me, you did this to me, and you need to feel bad about it. I'm telling you, people move on with their life. And I started to realize that, like, I was holding on to my daddy wounds, and I was like, and I would see my daddy, and my daddy living his best life. Like, my daddy taking vacation, my daddy buying new cars, and I'm like, Daddy, you hurt me. Why are you enjoying your life when you hurt me? And that's what you have to realize. Most of the time, people don't even realize that you hurt. People don't even care that you are hurting, and you have got to let go of that pain for you, even if it's for nobody else. Even if nobody else releases you from that pain, you got to release yourself from it. You have to say, you know what? I release myself of this iniquity. I release myself of this person. I release myself of these thoughts. I release myself. I forgive myself from holding on to this for 20-something years. I release myself from feeling the guilt of just everything that happened. I release myself to forgive you. And when you release yourself, give yourself permission to forgive, you start to feel so free. You start to realize, like, man, I've been holding on to this burden, and I've been telling myself this story over and over and over again. And I've been rehearsing this, and I've been saying, you should do this, and you should have did that, and you should have did this, and you weren't there for me, and you did this. Release it. Release it. Let it go. Let it go. The person who hurt you ain't thinking about you. They are not thinking about you. So why would you hold yourself into this stagnant position in life and to keep rehearsing this to yourself? You keep replaying what happened while that other person is moving on with their life. They living their best life. and you still holding on to that hurt, you've got to release it. Whether that's journaling, whether that's writing that person a letter and just ripping it up, whether it's calling that person and say, you know what, you did this to me, but I forgive you. Whether it is literally going to therapy, whether you got to talk to a friend about it, whatever you have to do to release that pain, release that hurt, I'm telling you, it will literally change your life. You cannot hold on to that hurt. You can't hold on to whoever hurt you, who wasn't there for you, because at the end of the day, they did what they thought was best. They did what they knew to be best. And some people will intentionally hurt you. So there are some people who intentionally hurt you, but most people don't want to hurt somebody, but they just end up hurting somebody because of the situation or whatever the case may be. But more than likely, they didn't intend to hurt you. More than likely, they didn't go out of their way to hurt you. But because of life and because of, things happen, that's just what happened. And you hurt people too, Sometimes we can get so caught up in what somebody else did. You also got to realize that you have hurt people along the journey as well. You have not been the best friend. You have not been the best family member, the best brother or sister. You haven't been the best mother. You haven't been the best supervisor. So yes, it's so easy to see what somebody else is doing, but with the same amount of energy that you using to judge somebody else and say you wasn't this and you wasn't that, make sure that you use that same energy on yourself. Because when you use that same energy on yourself, you start to realize, like, man, I'm kind of messed up too. Like, man, I haven't been the best person as well. So let me show grace to this person because I need grace myself. The last part about forgiveness is that you have got to realize that everything that has happened to you has happened for you. I'm going to repeat that. Everything that has happened to you has happened for you. And what I mean by that is everything that you experience in life is a moment of teaching, a moment of learning. You can learn something from every single experience that you have been through. So the moment I released it, I started to realize, what can I learn from this? What can this teach me? It taught me forgiveness. It taught me the type of person that I want to marry, how I want him to care for our children, the type of traits that I want to look for in the spouse that I choose, and how I want him to treat our children. It taught me how I can use this to help other people. So now I'm able to actually make a video about forgiveness because I was able to forgive. It taught me how to help other people out there who are struggling with daddy issues. So all in all, it worked for my good. And that's what you got to realize. Whoever hurt you, whoever let you down, whoever just missed the ball with you and who dropped it, whoever just let you down in life, it worked for your good. Switch your way of thinking and say, how can I use this to better myself? How can I use this to help other people? You have got to find the good in the evil, because if you hold on to that evil, if you hold on to that and you sit here and repeat it to yourself constantly again, you're going to repeat the same cycles because you're not learning from it. Whoever hurt you, release that energy into the atmosphere. Do not hold on to that. Look at what you can learn from that experience. Look at what that person taught you. Look at how they made you a better person. Look at you strong now. You done overcame all these people hurting you. You are so much stronger now. Your testimony is stronger. And now on top of that, you can help somebody else who is struggling with the same thing that you have struggled with and now you have overcome. Release that forgiveness. Realize that God sees everything. God knows everything. It's his job to seek revenge. It's not your job. It's not your job to hold on to it. Let God handle that person. Give that person to God and say, you know what? I release you. I'm just going to pray for you and move on with your life. That is the easiest thing. Move on with your life. Let it go. And I'm telling you, you'll feel a weight lifted off of you. Like you won't even realize how heavy you are in your spirit until you release everything that has happened to you, release the unforgiveness. And you will start to see, man, listen, let that thing go. Let it go. Song Frozen, let it go, let it go. You need to let that thing go because you're holding up your own blessings. When you hold on to unforgiveness, you are also holding up your own blessing. So in the Bible, in Ephesians 4:32, it states, be kind to one another, tenderhearted, forgiving one another as God in Christ forgave you. So that goes back to one of my points that I mentioned previously. God forgave you. You a mess too. You a mess too. I'm a mess too. So I had to realize, I haven't been the best person that I needed to be. So let me forgive this person so I'm not holding up my own blessings. I'm trying to get blessed. I need favor. I need all of that mercy and everything. So let me not stop my blessings because I'm holding on to this. I'm going to let it go so I can receive everything. So when you're holding on to unforgiveness, hands are clenched, you're angry, you're upset. But once you release that and you let it go, you can receive now. You got your palms open to receive. So let it go. I know it's hard. I have been there. I'm not telling you nothing that I haven't walked through myself, but I'm telling you, the moment that you release it and you give it to God, baby, your life is going to change for the better. Hopefully this video was able to help you. Hopefully you can see that you should let go of all that hurt and pain and just offer forgiveness to every single person who has wronged, who has hurt you in the past. Let it go. If you need encouragement, or you know somebody else who may need encouragement, please write into my foundation, www.letusforlife.net. If you have any video content that you would like me to talk about, please make sure that you comment down below so I can know exactly what you want to hear. As always, I love you, but most importantly though, God loves you. I will see y'all on the next video.
I dream about it, I go get it, that's how I do it. Not in the stars, I'm not lucky, I just